Told y'all in the last video I'm getting old, man. Hey, listen. I was watching the last video, and you're going to have to go watch it, man, because we about to get right to this one. But I was watching the last video. I was about to tell y'all a secret, man. I'd rather be mysterious and provocative. Anyway, hey, you got to go back and watch the last video. That was part 1, and there was a couple of videos before that, 1, 2, 3. You probably need to go watch them too. I'm not going to ramble. We're going to get straight to it. If you don't watch those last videos, then you're going to be like, what the hell is he talking about in this video? But if you watch at least the last video, then us getting straight to it right here, right now, it's not going to confuse you at all. Y'all be safe. You cannot underestimate how much people have lost their damn mind. It makes no sense. Don't keep telling us that the state has said from the beginning, because I asked them, did this have anything to do with the warrant? My bad, y'all. I forgot this part.
Well, one of the issues with this IGP is relevance at all, because from the very beginning, the state's position has been it has no bearing on the case. It will not have any bearing on the trial.
And for some reason, we're supposed to believe them. No questions asked. Ain't no good faith when you trying to take my damn life. I don't give a damn how much you think they got credibility because of the position they hold and they saying it in court under oath and all this foolishness, man. No, sir. The state saying it ain't good enough. And Ann is going to make this point later on. Just in case I forget to say it, I'm going to say it right here. She's saying, I'm not even saying that I want to investigate this stuff, and when I investigate it and my team look it over, it has to make it to trial. No, I just want to be able to consider it in my defense of a man y'all trying to kill, the same way the state and their team, entire team, not part of their team, was able to consider it in their prosecution that's leading them to try to kill this man. It just makes sense. The chips are 2 for $5. If I got it, I can get it. If I don't, I can't. Unless I'm finna steal, which is what they trying to do. They're trying to break the law. They're trying to pervert justice. They're trying to go around it like you do when you try to steal something. You're not supposed to do that if you're here for justice. Y'all crazy as hell, man. The judge's other objection to Ann's investigators' access, because this is what's going on here, guys. If you didn't watch the hearing, I suggest you do. Ann is saying, hey, man, at first, she needed her experts and her investigators to be able to look over the limited amount of IgG evidence that the judge, who's suddenly an expert on IgG evidence in his education, said he allowed her to have. So this is what the judge, the expert judge in IgG evidence, handed over to her. Shout out Gabby V, man. Y'all remember her? I do. And out of that evidence, now they're trying to tell her she has to ask them for permission who on her team can look at it. So it was the experts and the investigators. Okay, they say the experts, cool, we good on that. Hold on to the investigators. Not a big deal, though, because the state said hold on to the investigators because the investigators weren't named in Ann's request, in her order, right? Not a big deal. Ann said, I'll tell you who they are. They've been with us the whole time. Y'all already know them. They worked on some other things. Y'all are well aware of these people. I'll put the names in there. That's no big deal. So that's what Ann wants. Ann wants her investigators to have access to this evidence that she has, the limited evidence, so they can help her, they can assist her, her team, and the experts that they hired, they're working with in their defense of Bryan and preparing the defense, right? Ultimately, I will give you a spoiler and say that I agree with the judge in his decision partially. He said, let your experts go over it. If they decide that there's somebody specifically that we need to investigate, then we can come back and have a hearing about that. You present your evidence, the state can respond, I'll make a decision. It's fair. Ann's rebuttal to that was, remember when y'all kept telling me I need to rush and prepare this defense so we can get the trial in a hurry? Remember when everybody was blaming me for stalling the trial and holding it up? Judge, I don't have a problem with that. I just want you to know, I want to remind you, Judge, that we have already waited for this decision. We waited a while. That's literally what she said. We waited a while and we're here today. It's your courtroom. Still verbatim what she said. So you call the shots. If this is how you want to handle it, we can handle it like this. I just want you to know these things take time. Verbatim, her words again. What she's telling them is, stop blaming me for stalling the trial. Stop trying to rush me after y'all stalled the trial when y'all, what the damn it, are we married or something? You do the same damn thing you got a problem with me about. But when you do it, it's just, okay, it's par for the course. Stop holding up the damn trial and then expect me to speed mine up. We're not doing that. If you want to wait about this, cool. Once again, yes, the state is going to say the IgG evidence doesn't matter. What the hell do you think Ann's experts are gonna say? You say, well, if your experts say we need to investigate somebody, Ann ain't no damn fool now. It's not a perversion of justice for her experts to say, yeah, we do need to investigate everybody on that side of the table. They really believe they do. With exception, not being extra. So back to what I was saying. The judge's other objection to Ann's investigators' access was relevance. So we cool. Remember, I need my whole team, including experts and investigators, to have access to this limited amount of IGG evidence that you gave me. Everybody cool with the experts. We're going to have to hold on the investigator, says the judge, says the prosecution. And the prosecution also say, hey, we just going by the judge's order. So basically our objection is because of what the judge said we need to do. But the judge says something that's, I already told you, I agree that his ruling was fair, except don't throw it in Ann's face later because it postponed the trial some. So, because once her experts say we do need to investigate such and such, then Ann's team has to do the investigation. Then they have to go over what they found in the investigation. All these things take time, like you say. Anyway. I just had to throw in there that that's after they have a hearing to see whether the court agrees with her experts that these people and things need to be investigated to begin with. So at the very least, the hearing about these things will postpone trial because surely Ann's experts are going to say some of these things and people need to be investigated. But hey, if that's how you want to handle it, Judge, that's how you want to handle it. What he said makes so much sense to me going forward after that. He said, listen, man, you have to show me relevance though, right? I'm going to read straight from my notes on this one. I understand the judge saying you can't have everything, Ann, or Bill. It has to be relevant to the case. And at first I was like, I get it, but I can't explain how I get it. And then the perfect analogy came to me. Just because the detective drove a vehicle to interview a suspect doesn't mean that you can come to court and say, Judge, we want that vehicle so we can. What the hell does that have to do with the case? So when Judge says that, as much as I got my eagle eye on him, I have to call it down the middle. That was one of his things. He said, hey, Ann, I don't mind now, which I don't think. He's still leaning toward the state, believing the state, just because they said it. He said, I don't think this IGG evidence has anything to do with the case. He literally said this multiple times. But I'm open-minded about hearing your argument on it, right? And he said, my only caveat is, if it doesn't have anything to do with the damn case, don't even bring it in here. Stop playing with me. Which Ann wouldn't do anything like that anyway. If Ann brings it up, we going home with it. That's just the bottom line. The judge is going to have to reject it. So the judge just basically said, man, like I said, I give you the analogy again. Just because the detective drove a vehicle to interview a suspect doesn't mean that Ann can come to court and say, hey, we need that vehicle, Judge. We need the state to hand it over to us. And vice versa for the state. He was saying it to Bill, too. It has to be relevant to the case. And I get that, you know what I mean? Another example I had wrote down was during the investigation, the detective stopped to have lunch. And Ann or Bill comes to court and says, hey, man, we need Ann's investigator's lunch receipt. Well, what does that have to do with the case? So once again, I just agree with the judge when he says, man, whatever you guys are requesting, just make sure that it has relevance to the case. And then we can come in here and have a hearing about it and a decision can be made after both sides have been heard. I'm curious about Ann's request for verification. Now, I'm not going to get deep into this because I think maybe I made more of it than it is, but I'll give you guys an overview. Ann wanted to make sure that she could continue speaking to Bryan's family, right? And the people she had already been given, access to speak to, privilege to speak to, permission to speak to. Most notably, Bryan's family. And in my mind, I was like, well, why did she highlight that? Because the only reason she would do that is if there was some significance there. Like, okay, I'm going to keep you guys abreast of what's going on in the case, but there's no, that's not something that I'm going to be like, can I speak to you guys about? And when I say going on in the case, I mean, hey, anything that any of us can see on the news. That's not something I'm necessarily going to come to court and be like, can I speak to the family about it? Like, maybe I would if I'm just extra careful, but I just don't think so. In my mind, I was thinking, there's some significance, and that's the word I just used over and over in this quote I wrote down. Okay, I already went over all this, but I still want to read this. Speaking in Ann's voice right here. And if it makes anyone feel better, I'm not even requesting that this information that we want to go over makes it to trial, though I already could see a way that it could benefit us. And she told, at a point in the hearing, she told the judge, and I already said this earlier, she said, listen, man, My investigators need access to this because they are an integral part of my team. They need access to it for the same reason that the state's investigators, I'm pretty sure, already had access to it. Same reason. It's not rocket science here. We're not building pyramids. The chips are 2 for $5. If I got it, okay, cool. Now, what she goes on to say is this right here, and I already said this too. I'm not even saying that this evidence has to make it to trial. I already see a way that I'm going to file a motion, you know what I mean, just based on what I can see from over here, this small little invaluable peripheral that y'all gave me. I already see something in there. So I'm pretty sure my investigators and my full team is able to go over these things. There's a chance we may find things that are valuable to us. But even in that, I'm just asking for an opportunity to peruse these things the same way that these people who are trying to murder my client has had full access to all of it. I just want full access to the little bit that you gave me. I'm already handicapped here. What are we talking about? And so it goes back to the stupid analogy I keep using about the chips. I don't know why some of these things are things that we have to sit down and think about. And in my mind, it goes back to what I said already again, that this case is turning because regular normal Joe and normal Joseph, you know, the girl named there, eyes are watching, and we just saying like some of this stuff doesn't make sense. I refer back to the comments. I got them in there, right? Then I put the screenshots in there. You seen them?
Told you. You don't watch part one, you're going to be lost.
I got it in my notes. Make sure you put that in the video. Why don't you just give her investigators access to the damn information? You already gave her all of it as is. But once again, the judge's decision was, and let your experts look at it. If they say we need to investigate somebody, bring it back to the court. We'll have a hearing about that, man. But this is the thing right here, man. I should have put this in here. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. The judge said, is there anything I can do to help, guys? If you watch the last video, you will see I made a big deal about that, bro. His quote, not verbatim, but pretty much verbatim, was this right here, man. He was trying to emphasize that we need to go ahead and get this thing to trial, man. We got to go ahead and get it to trial and get it over with. That's what he was emphasizing. And at a point in the hearing, he said, hey, is there anything I can do to help speed this trial along?
But do we need a whole nother year after this summer? I mean, can I help everybody by having tighter deadlines to make things happen faster so that we can get this trial sooner?
And he literally said, you know, set hard deadlines or something for discovery to be turned over. Like, it was crazy as hell because Ann had, not only did she stand up in that hearing and lay it out for you, the things that she had been requesting since damn near day one, sir. We all seen this with our own eyes, bro. So how in the hell are you sitting there saying, hey, man, is there anything I can do to help? And here we are again, man. Here we are again, man, when Ann is just saying, bro, ain't nobody asked you to go ahead and decide whether Bryan is guilty or innocent right now, and you have to decide innocent. We ain't nowhere near nothing like that, bro. You just gave me a partial piece of evidence that y'all used to try to convict my damn client so you can murder him. And now you telling me I can't even let my whole team? What in the, if I got to keep my team out of this, they're going to have to stay out of it. And this is what she said. They're going to have to stay out of some other parts of the investigation. Like, we got a team, bro. We got a team. Think of team sports. However you want to think of the team analogy, bro. You don't, there's not like one play or one situation where a member of the team isn't in on it. Like, we're only going to 85% of the team, 92% of it. No, it's a team. So how am I supposed to operate effectively and fully as a team when you telling me there are certain things that my team can't see, especially when the other side team has had full access to full access? Damn it, we talking about full access to partial access here. Come on, man. You can't keep asking us to watch this damn trial and act like we don't see what's going on, bro. And the reason I bring it up a Young Thug trial, because I seen some of the same stuff happening in that damn case. The lady over there going damn crazy. The judge already told you what's going on. 30 minutes later, you still arguing the point. Is it just a damn epidemic in our country for the judges to let the prosecutions run the courtroom? What the hell is going on here, man? I will say this. They were talking about the whole time, man, the reason they're putting up this fight to protect the IGG evidence. This is their spiel, right? I don't know. Maybe they're telling the truth here. I don't know. I don't get the sense that they are, but their spiel is that there are innocent people on, you know, those lists and then that evidence, you know what I mean, that Ann is requesting. And they've been saying this from the beginning. They don't want the wrong hands to get that evidence. My first question is, what the hell you think they're going to do with it, man? Is someone on Ann's team that suspicious, man? That much of a villain that you think if they're going to get... Well, I mean, it's just, in my mind, I'm puzzled. What does the court and the state think anyone on Ann's team is so remiss? Not only remiss, like, not just like they were accidentally, fumbly, irresponsibly lead the information out somewhere that somebody could get it. I mean, that's the worst that you could think of, right? Because what are you trying to imply? That Ann's team is going to bomb somebody's house? And that's what I'm saying. Where do you go with that? When y'all putting up this much fight to protect innocent people so you can kill a man. And Ann is just saying, I want to consider what you got, what you have, what you utilize to arrive at the point that you want to kill my client. I ain't even saying that it actually has to make it to trial. Where anybody in a trial, so the final trial, the lead trial, I'm not even saying it has to make it there. I just want to be able to consider it. But they're fighting tooth and nail, and the foundation of their argument is protecting innocent people. At one point, they were like, well, we don't want them to go out and start interviewing people. But you trying to kill a man, bro. Like, it just logically doesn't make sense to me, man. And y'all got all this concern for these innocent people, man. Remember I asked y'all, you remember Gabby V? The state got all this concern for these innocent people. But when you had an opportunity to interview Ann's innocent defense witness in the court, you had an opportunity to bring your experts to question her and what she said, what she testified to. You didn't do that. You forewent that. And you teamed up with the FBI so they could go to this lady's house in the middle of the night and try to intimidate her. But you won't. This is what I'm saying, the logical shit. You want to sell to me in blind, mesmerized, brainwashed eyes that you have so much concern for innocent people. Gabby V was innocent when you conspired with the feds to send them to her house in the middle of the night to try to intimidate them, rather than handle it like a professional justice-seeking litigator in court where it was presented to you at. You think I'm supposed to trust your ass with any justice credibility, any credibility, injustice of justice, when I've seen the perversion that your ass do before our eyes, like we ain't got eyes to see? I don't trust y'all, man. There's no way in hell I trust y'all. That lady needs the IGG evidence. Not just the partial part that y'all gave her, not the limited, but she need all of it. She need all of it. You trying to kill a man. What the hell are we talking about here, man? Like I said, this video probably going to be more than one part, man. As you can see, I got a lot to say. I'm like 20 minutes in this hearing. The hearing is an hour and 22 minutes long. I got a lot to say because a lot is happening here. And at the end of the day, they're trying to kill this man. I don't make the laws. I'm pro-life. Abortion. I'm not trying to start a political argument. I'm just telling you who I am. No abortion. No, I'm not with it. I'm not with capital punishment. I know people will agree. People have different positions. I'm just telling you mine. I can articulate it to you and for you and why. So I can't speak to that part of it because I stand where I stand on it. But the laws are set up in a way for if he's guilty and that's proven beyond a reasonable doubt, there will be justice meted out for that too. There will be punishment for that. There will be recompense. How I'm supposed to say that word, right? He won't just walk free like we see other murderers do, literally. But if he's innocent, come on, man, the bottom line is he shouldn't be in that jail cell. And nobody should be doing anything from hiding evidence to being manipulative in court to just believing something because one side said it, when what they're saying fits the point that they want to make. This is not trying to rush trial. Like, this is not just, we just got to get to another Monday and another Monday because we got a menial job that means something to us. But like in the big scheme, it might not mean as much as like I'm deciding whether people live or die. This isn't that, bro. You literally got the job that means much because you decide whether people live or die. Better slow your ass down. Hey, we're going to see y'all on the next video, man, Lord willing. Hope I got everything in my notes. Be safe. Innocent until. I ain't got no fancy in this time. We got an hour of trial left. And whatever else breaks in the meantime. No telling how many videos that's going to be. Appreciate y'all watching, man.
And I'll say it again. This is a capital case. Death is different.